Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. What is October? Well, this coming from Jungle Inc. here. Many in crypto circles have in recent years begun calling this month of October because historically the price of Bitcoin has risen in October. Guys, are we going to see that in October 2023? That's a very, very good question. As of now, we're still in an indecisive pattern for Bitcoin. We do have to reach that $31,800 level to break that support. And, we did see some bullish momentum over the last little while, almost 3 weeks here. We've seen Bitcoin start to move up slowly but surely. This is Bitcoin on the daily, by the way. Yesterday, we were up to $28,300 per coin. But today, unfortunately, down again, $27,600. Like I say, guys, we're not going to see any action until we get past 31.8. So, the Bitcoin halving not happening until April. And, that's when we really should get serious about the bull run. Until then, we have this great opportunity to be able to accumulate, whether that's Bitcoin or XRP or any other cryptocurrency that you guys are interested in accumulating. Well, guys, now is the time. And so I wanted to give you guys some perspective for those of you guys who, might be new to this crypto thing, and maybe this is your first full crypto cycle. Here's what historically happens each bull cycle, okay? So, we look at charts, and sometimes, sometimes it can get overwhelming. Goes in one year, goes out the other. If we look up the data from the past, every cycle has certain things in common. So this is what we have to remember, guys. The Bitcoin cycle, there are a lot of people that have been in this space for a very long time that have analyzed these charts for a very long time. And so when you start looking at charts regularly, you start to see patterns. And I remember when I was taking a trading course back in 2011, the teacher of the course was saying that same thing. You guys are looking at these charts now and you're trying to learn what all these charts mean, what the candlestick formations mean. And, because basically this is psychology printed on a page. This is how humans have decided, in this case, have decided to trade Bitcoin. And it's just human psychology printed on the page. And when you watch these charts over the long term, you start to see patterns and, things start to pop out at you that you may not have noticed, 3, 4, 5 years ago when you were, relatively new looking at charts. So I've been looking at charts since 2011, guys. It's been 12 years already. Yeah. Started in stocks, then moved over to crypto eventually. But anyway, here is what to look for in Bitcoin, okay? And Bitcoin, obviously the leader of the market. So it's going to dictate what happens over the entire market. And make no mistake, we are still in a spec market. So we're not going to see these altcoins, kind of take off based on utility. And again, guys, this is why I've started the Patreon, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Are you looking to change up your strategy a little bit this time around and not relying on price targets for utility coins? Well, that's what I'm doing. Shorter term trades, diversifying into different types of cryptocurrencies, looking at different metrics, and I've kept it at $5 a month to keep it relatively affordable so you guys can stick with me until the top. When we cash out for mega profits, hopefully we can find a 100xer in there somewhere. So my patrons know the what's what. But again, okay, back to this. Bitcoin runs. Every new cycle to date has always started with Bitcoin running first. So that's the important thing to note, okay? It's also no rocket science to figure out why. Bitcoin is the most dominant crypto in the industry, and so it has the highest amount of support. When this industry gets more media attention, more investors and more money will flow in. And so, guys, we saw that in 2021. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry was coming out of the woodwork. The people who knew that I was into cryptocurrency were coming at me, asking me about crypto. And at that point, I had to tell everybody, guys, it's way too late to get into crypto, to the point where just last week, I posted on my personal Facebook page, basically telling people, look, if you're not accumulating cryptocurrency in 2023, don't talk to me in 2025. And there were actually a few people that DM'd me later on saying, okay, so what should I be doing now? Good, you're doing it right. Anyway, okay, Ethereum and the top 10 runs as the most popular altcoin in the world for quite some time and multiple cycles. It's also the coin that tends to run first right behind Bitcoin. People are expressing the first signs of FOMO after seeing Bitcoin's gains and look to the second best thing. Along with Googling other altcoins, which almost all only show the top 10 by leading market cap, at this point, it's a leading indicator of a true alt season very soon on the horizon. Then, guys, number 3, alts will run. Bitcoin and Ethereum can't keep going up astronomically. At some point, demand slows down when they have had multiple multipliers and people either 1, don't want to buy a 10x at 10x prices anymore, or 2, already bought. At this stage of the market, however, the media attention, the market is huge. The stage has been set up and people look beyond the big daddies of crypto. What if there are others that have yet to see astronomical gains? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many others already had all these years. Within a brief period, the prices of altcoins skyrocket as investors move their money out of Bitcoin and into other cryptocurrencies. And so once prices start to rise, FOMO investment kicks in, causing a snowball effect, which drives altcoin prices even higher to astronomical heights for a short period of time. Many investors can make the majority of their profits for the year during an alt season if they are able to sell their altcoins before alt season ends and the prices fall back down to earth. Because make no mistake, although alt season created by FOMO greed and a snowball effect is absolutely great, these prices are also very overvalued by the very same principles at the same point, and they will come back down. So, I mean, it's fairly simple and straightforward if you can psychologically get your head around it. So the simple rundown, get ready when Bitcoin runs. If you own a decent share of Bitcoin in your portfolio, consider to down cost average out of Bitcoin and move them into Ethereum and leading high caps. Get ready when Ethereum runs. If you own a decent share of your portfolio in these, consider to down cost average out. Then move these funds and possibly go to low cap, micro cap stocks, micro cap cryptos. Take note of the current narrative as well. These will enjoy even higher multipliers. So this guy's giving you one strategy. Again, this is not my advice. I'm going to be showing you, and I mean, I'm not giving financial advice anywhere. I'm just going to be showing you guys what I'm doing on my Patreon with my crypto portfolio. I'm going to be posting my trades and letting you guys know also what my targets will be for those legacy cryptocurrencies that I've held in my portfolio for the long term. So this is just one way to do it. Get ready when alts run. This is the end game of the cycle. While it will last for multiple months, it's when you want to take full profits without rotating, because then, guys, we get into this trap here where you think, or actually the trap is kind of here where you think the market's going to go even higher than this. But of course, we do see lower lows, lower highs. And then, I mean, technically we are then in a bear market. But, at that point, most people don't know it yet. It's here where you want to take a similar approach with the down cost average out strategy into stables or fiat to make your life for the better. There will be no perfect indicator to time the end of the alt season, hence why I usually refer to the down cost average strategy for simple purposes. There are other ways, but if you don't consider yourself a professional trader, and in my opinion, most of us aren't, then avoid those. Understanding the natural flow of the market can be pretty game-breaking if you play it well, especially if you move before the others do. What else do you think happens when you own these assets before the herd follows? Don't need to explain any further, right? So again, this was, a tweet thread courtesy of Crypto Nova here. Again, not my financial advice. This is what Crypto Nova is suggesting you do. But I mean, some good takeaways here with regards to the market and how we should be looking at it. I'm going to be taking some of these principles here, but my strategy going to be even a little bit different than that even. I'm also thinking of starting a live stream every so often, fairly regularly. So if that's something you guys are interested in too, there'll be a question and answer forum. You'll see me live. I know I've never gone live on YouTube before, but for the patrons, for trading, I mean, if you guys have questions on what I'm doing, I was thinking of starting that, but that is still in the works. If you guys have any other suggestions, please do let me know. I want to keep moving, guys, on some news that I was talking about yesterday, how Honda was accepting crypto payments, including XRP and Shiba Inu. Well, XRPnews.crypto here posted this. It's not, in fact, just Honda. It's actually Mercedes-Benz as well. So two car companies, FCF Pay, partners with Honda and Mercedes, allowing customers to finance, lease, or purchase vehicles using different cryptocurrencies, including XRP, Bitcoin, and Shiba Inu. This move marks an exciting phase for cryptocurrency acceptance in the automotive sector, following similar ventures in other industries. And it's with that same company, FCF Pay, they're saying here that purchasing your dream car from prestigious brands like Mercedes has never been more accessible. Through the remarkable partnership with FCF Pay, these automotive giants are embracing a plethora of cryptocurrencies, including XRP, BTC, SHIB, and many more, heralding a significant stride in the massive adoption wave of digital currencies. According to a tweet from Colin Brown, now the coveted Mercedes vehicles are just a cryptocurrency away, indicating a promising synergy between the automotive and blockchain sectors. And guys, here's the tweet from Colin. Your Mercedes-Benz is now within reach through crypto with FCF Pay. Finance, lease, or purchase the car of your dreams and pay with XRP, SHIB, or Bitcoin. Great adoption wave, Ripple fans. So even targeting the XRP community here. Amazing. FCF Pay Mercedes-Benz. I don't know in which countries this is available, if it's the US or Europe or where. There are no more details on that. Nevertheless, I talked about it with regards to Honda the other day. They were talking about Honda being one of those automotive companies that were accepting cryptocurrencies, but now it looks as though Mercedes on track as well to accept XRP. So thought I'd bring you guys that update. Wanted to thank XRP News.Crypto for posting that. And Congress even coming through with some cryptocurrency regulation updates, guys. Patrick McHenry did recently tweet this out yesterday. SEC Chair Gary Gensler refuses to schedule a commission vote to provide Congress with requested documents. Should Gensler continue to stonewall, Republicans will have no choice but to issue the first subpoena to the SEC from the committee to compel their production. And, even Warren Davidson was saying Gensler should have been subpoenaed already. He was recently interviewed by Tony Edward from the Thinking Crypto podcast. Let me play you guys a clip of this. If you want to watch the full interview, Tony has linked it in this tweet, and I will link this tweet in the description of the video. But here's just a short clip. Listen to this.
So speaking of Gary Gensler, obviously we had the hearing yesterday, which you were a part of. One of the things that Patrick McHenry brought up was, I don't want to send a subpoena to you, but I'm going to have to. Is that the next step? Indeed. There's obviously...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, look, Gensler should have been subpoenaed already. I mean, I think the amount of patience that Chairman McHenry's shown, I think the subpoena was due in February. We sent you a question in January. You totally blew us off. Here's a subpoena. There are some people in the administration, not necessarily the majority, but the people with the power and influence over the agenda love the agenda Gary Gensler is doing. And, they just, delight themselves, just like Gary Gensler being questioned aggressively by members of Congress is like a badge of honor for these folks, and they look at it as oh, that's great. I love that we're pushing your buttons. And it's no, you're wrecking the markets for American capital markets.
So according to Warren Davidson, it sounds as though Gary Gensler is treating this like a joke, not really responding, not taking it seriously. And he should have been subpoenaed already. So if you guys want to catch Tony's full interview, you can catch it here. Again, I will link it in the description of this video for you. And so, guys, we've got more. Trial of former FTX head Sam Bankman-Fried set to begin today on Tuesday. Bankman-Fried, who once promoted himself as the ethical face of cryptocurrencies, faces multiple fraud and money laundering charges. So, this has helped the market go down. But, I am just going back to what I was talking about at the top of the video. The bear market, everything is coordinated, and we generally tend to see, these narratives shift as the sentiment shifts. And then if you've only been in this market for less than 4 years, you haven't actually been able to appreciate what a full cycle can bring. So, at the top of the last market, we had Elon tweeting about Doge and, using, buying Bitcoin and all this stuff. Then if you notice back about a year ago in the fall and winter of 2022, we had all that negative news. And so, this is making news right now, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter for the crypto space. Nevertheless, Sam Bankman-Fried goes to trial in New York City. Jury selection in Bankman-Fried's trial is scheduled to begin October the 3rd, which is today, while the trial itself is expected to last about 6 weeks. Bankman-Fried, who is once viewed as the leader of digital currencies and a rare tech CEO who was attuned to ethics, will face federal charges of wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering that defrauded customers of his digital currency exchange FTX and lenders to his cryptocurrency hedge fund Alameda Research. He has pleaded not guilty to all of those charges. If convicted, several of the counts would come with maximum sentences of 20 years in prison. So this is now the latest, update with regards to Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm going to continue following this as things unravel. Some experts have already opined on Sam Bankman-Fried's fate, like John Reed Stark. Another one here, guys, from Michael Branch on Twitter. Former SEC lawyer John Reed Stark on 3 unique reasons why Sam Bankman-Fried will likely be convicted. So he's saying he's going to the slammer. I think we're all familiar with John Reed Stark. He's been a compliance expert with 15 years of experience at the SEC. He took to Twitter to discuss the impending trial of Sam Bankman-Fried. He's a seasoned expert in cybersecurity, fintech, and regulatory compliance. Blah, blah, blah. This is just giving his background, but I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Earlier today, though, Stark laid out 3 unique reasons that make Sam Bankman-Fried's conviction highly likely. Unprecedented level of insider cooperation. That is number 1. And I'm just going to highlight these. Number 2, comprehensive access to damning evidence. And number 3, Sam Bankman-Fried's counterproductive public relations campaign. So A lot going on, super shady. So much has been revealed, and John Reed Stark does outline it in his tweet thread that is linked in the body of this article, which I will link this article in the description of the video. So if you guys are following the Sam Bankman-Fried saga, I don't know if you want to get an opinion on that. You can check out John Reed Stark's tweet down here. Anyway, wanted to thank Michael for posting that. The other thing that I wanted to mention that XRP community members might find interesting is this. Another one from Michael Branch here, guys. Stephen Nerayoff said the US SEC had a list of prominent people they wanted to take out. Yes, this has been a secret operation for many years. Stephen Nerayoff said the SEC had a list of prominent people they wanted to take out. The list included tech journalists like Naomi Blackwell, who John Deaton is representing in the Library versus SEC case. So this is the latest news that we got here, guys. Former Ethereum advisor Stephen Nerayoff, who's been a friend of the XRP community as of late, a recent member, said the SEC had a targeted list of people within crypto. So not just, people related to any particular company, but within crypto specifically, including tech journalist Naomi Blackwell. According to Nerayoff, the SEC wanted his help in taking them out. In a post that garnered attention on X, which is the Twitter platform, Nerayoff accused the regulatory agency of plotting to take out prominent persons in crypto. So here's a quote. "They told my attorneys for months they wanted anything and anyone important in crypto, or I'm going to prison for a long time." This is what Nerayoff said. Despite not getting him to cooperate, he said the SEC maliciously prosecuted him for 3 years, even though they knew he was innocent. Earlier in May, a New York judge dismissed the criminal extortion charges against Nerayoff. The prosecutors in the case could not prove the charges of this indictment. Since then, Nerayoff has revealed several explosive allegations against the U.S. regulators. The latest revelation comes on the heels of John Deaton joining the Library versus SEC lawsuit on behalf of Naomi Blackwell. So guys, what the heck is going on now? What is this latest bombshell that we have discovered? John Deaton posted this, okay? When I posted that Naomi Blackwell deserved huge credit for allowing me to represent her in the interest of library holders or LBC holders, this is what I meant. No one wants to be on the government's target list yet. According to Stephen Nerayoff in a federal pleading, nonetheless, Naomi Blackwell was already on the list of influential people within the crypto industry. Just think about how effing insane this is. A journalist is now being targeted by the SEC. Not a VC or token promoter, a bloody journalist who teaches and promotes privacy rights. If that doesn't terrify and anger you, we can't be friends. Agreed. Completely agreed here. Stephen Nerayoff responding, perfectly stated, I consider Naomi Blackwell a friend. History will show how prescient her privacy teachings were. Library is the most outrageous action brought by the SEC, and she took a stand for all of us by having John Deaton intervene. And Naomi Blackwell even came up. She didn't even realize she was on a list. Wait, Stephen Nerayoff, I was really on a list of people to target according to your recollection? And Nerayoff responds here, yes, but there were hundreds of names. I only recalled these as I knew most of them like you. They told my attorneys for months they wanted anything on anyone important in crypto or I'm going to prison for a long time. So threats of going to prison, I instructed my attorneys to literally tell them to go F themselves. They eventually gave up asking for info and I never cooperated. Yet they prosecuted me for nearly 3 more years, knowing I was innocent as they were the ones who fabricated this whole thing. And I proved, forcing them to finally dismiss the case. So I could see why Stephen Nerayoff's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, a monkey on his back. Bill Morgan here responding too. And some people think choke point 2.0 only applies to on and off ramps, which, in the past we've discussed the on and off ramps for crypto. That's part of it. Everyone influential in crypto, even investors, seem to be potential targets. Good on you for standing up to them and not aiding with the witch hunt. Michael Scotto here also saying, I'd say Stephen Nerayoff has said a lot for those paying attention. Legal actions are coming. Meanwhile, we dropped a lot of bombs about the SEC, the FBI, the Justice Department, misconduct in our publicly filed motions, which led to a prompt dismissal of the case. And so here's what is filed. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Michael Scotto just, posts the court listener documents here. Again, I'll link it in the description. And Digital Asset Investor also posting the goods here, okay? A document when Nerayoff was arrested, handcuffed Nerayoff and took him into a van that was parked outside the residence. Once in the van, S.A. Anderson told Mr. Nerayoff in sum and substance that Mr. Nerayoff was facing a lengthy prison sentence and that if he wanted to see his kids grow older, I can't believe these scumbags, At the time of the arrest, Mr. Nerayoff's children were not even teenagers. He has to cooperate with the government and help bring cases against other influencers in the crypto industry. S.A. Anderson further explained that he wanted Mr. Nerayoff to assist the government in making dozens of convictions of the top players in the crypto industry, and that Mr. Nerayoff would get time off his prison sentence for each conviction he helped the government obtain. S.A. Anderson went so far as to show Mr. Nerayoff a list with hundreds of individuals he was seeking to make cases against. Wow, the rot runs deep, guys. And so while the list was many pages, some of those names Mr. Nerayoff can remember to the best of his recollection are. And so, guys, here is the list, including Vitalik Buterin, Charles Hoskins. I'm not going to list them all off, but I will link this in the description. Mike Novogratz, Joe Lubin, some people you might know. Bruce Fenton, Peter Getz. Who else do we have here? Rand Neuner, Ari Paul, Charlie Shrem, Barry Silbert, Roger Ver, just to name a few. And then the list continues down here. Brad Mills, Satoshi Kabayashi, I guess that's somebody maybe on Twitter. Caitlin Long, CZ, Naomi Brockwell, as we mentioned, and a few others. Mr. Nerayoff was shocked over the size and breadth of the list. It seems that the government has compiled a list of the top players in the crypto industry, and they were looking for anything on anyone. Some of the people on the list were his close friends, for whom he could vouch, while others were acquaintances who, to the best of his knowledge, were decent and honest entrepreneurs. Guys, it is heating up. This is getting very, very spicy. Of course, crypto regs in the US, the story isn't done yet. Luckily for XRP holders, we've got clarity for XRP. So what is that going to mean for the XRP token during this spec bull run? Well, I have some inclinations, but guys, that doesn't mean I'm not diversifying. You can follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you want to see what I'm doing this time around. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.